Good evening, everybody. Call to roll call, please.
Barkley,
Here.
Walters,
Here.
Rarden,
Here.
Benner, Parton,
Here.
Crum,
Here.
Thompson.
Here.
All right, next we'll have invocation by Pastor Greg Hammond, First Christian Church.
Psalm 91, he who dwells in the shelter of the Most High will rest in the shadow of the Almighty. I will say to the Lord, he is my refuge and my fortress, my God in whom I trust. Let us pray. Father, we thank you and praise you that we can gather together. We thank you, Father, for this community. We have come together to make decisions, and we ask, oh God, that you just bless us with your wisdom and your strength. We lift up, Father, our brothers and sisters in Andover who suffered through a tornado. We just thank you, Father, that we can lift them up in prayer and their lives be put back together as we have seen ours in times past. And so we thank you, Father, for our law enforcement, for all those who make our community safe, our first responders, for all those who've come today to serve and make good decisions. We ask your blessings on this meeting in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, first we have a special order of business. A Police Department promotions. Chief?
Good evening, Mayor and Council. We have a couple of promotions this evening to take care of here real quick at the beginning of the meeting. The first two are to, actually there's three. Two of the officers are here, one's not. The first promotions are to Master Police Officer. This rank is positioned between Police Officer and Police Sergeant. Officers are eligible to test for Master Police Officer after 4 years of law enforcement experience. Tonight we have three officers for promotion to the rank of Master Police Officer. The first one is Officer David Liang. Officer Liang was born and raised in New Orleans, Louisiana. He began his law enforcement career by joining the New Orleans Police Department Police Academy in 1997. Over the next 24 years, he worked in various areas of that department, including street crimes, quality of life, and the Mounted Patrol Unit in the French Quarter. Officer Liang came to us last year after his retirement in Louisiana. He's married to his wife Janice Liang in 1994, and they now live in Haysville in the home that her parents bought originally in 1977. So, Dave. Come on up. Here's your badge. All right, thanks. Up here, good. I'll get to one. Okay, our next one, Officer J.D. Willis began his career in law enforcement as a detention deputy with the Cedric County Sheriff's Department. In October of 2018, he came to the Haysville Police Department. After graduating from the Kansas Law Enforcement Training Center, he returned to complete his field training and was assigned to the patrol section on day shift. In the last part of 2020 and 21 school year, he took on a new challenge and was assigned to the campus high school as a school resource officer. Since that time, he's been working to build a relationship between the kids and police officers. So, JD, welcome. Our third officer that's being promoted to MPO this evening is not here. Officer Tracy Roniger spent 25 years working in the aircraft industry. During that same time, he also worked for over 18 years in law enforcement, which included 12 years as a sheriff reserve and a part-time officer in Andale, and 3 years with the Cedric County Sheriff's Department and Detention Facility. Officer Roniger began a new adventure with the Haysville Police Department in November of 2020. He's been assigned to the patrol section during his time with us. Officer Roniger is married to his wife Sherry and has 4 kids. And this evening, he's actually taking care of his wedding anniversary. So he's there instead of here. And I told him that was a good idea. So, and this evening we have one more promotion. We have a promotion to the rank of sergeant. The rank of sergeant is a supervisory position, which we currently use to fill the role of our shift supervisors. Candidates are eligible for these positions based on their experience. They are then evaluated through a process of written testing, oral interviews, report writing, and day-to-day interactions with coworkers and the public. We have Officer Levon Kratz, was raised in Greensburg, Kansas, and graduated from Greensburg High School and attended Hutch Community College, where he majored in music education and performance. He began his career in corrections at the Hutch Correctional Facility in 2008 as a correctional officer and achieved the rank of Master Sergeant in 2010. In 2012, he joined the United States Army as an infantryman. He was assigned to the 1st Battalion, 26th Infantry Regiment, where he deployed to Afghanistan as part of Operation Enduring Freedom in 2013 and 14. In 2016, he began working in law enforcement for the Kingman, Kansas Police Department, where he worked for 4 years before leaving to support his wife, Mallory Kratz, who was fulfilling her military commitment. In 2021, Kratz returned to law enforcement and began working for the Haysville Police Department. He's since been assigned to the patrol section on second shift as he's been with us. So, anyone, come on up. Congratulations. All right. Thank you. Congratulations. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, congratulations to all the police officers. Do any of you have anything to say or want to say anything?
Speech, anybody?
Yeah, everybody's running out the door.
Steady quiet. All right. They have that right. All right. Next, we have a couple of proclamations. First one is the Police Week Proclamation. Whereas Congress and the President of the United States have designated May 15th as Peace Officers Memorial Day, and the week of which May 15th falls as National Police Week. And whereas the members of law enforcement agency of the City of Haysville play an essential role in safeguarding the rights and freedoms of the City of Haysville. And whereas it is important that all citizens know and understand the duties, responsibilities, hazards, and sacrifices of their law enforcement agency, and that members of our law enforcement agency recognize their duty to serve the people by safeguarding life and property, by protecting them against violence and disorder, and by protecting the innocent against deception and the weak against oppression. And whereas the men and women of the Haysville Police Department unceasingly provide a vital public service. Now therefore, I, Russ Kessler, Mayor of the City of Haysville, call upon all citizens of Haysville and upon all patriotic, civic, and educational organizations to observe the week of May 15th through the 21st this year as Police Week, with appropriate ceremonies and observances in which all of our people may join in commemorating law enforcement officers, past and present, who by their faithful and loyal devotion to their responsibilities have rendered a dedicated service to their communities, and in doing so have established for themselves an invaluable and enduring reputation for preserving the right and security of all citizens. I further call upon all citizens of Haysville to observe May 15th as Peace Officers Memorial Day, and honoring these law enforcement officers who, through their courageous deeds, have made the ultimate sacrifice in service to their community or have become disabled in the performance of duty. Let us recognize and pay respect to the survivors of our fallen heroes. In witness thereof, I have hereunto set my hand and caused the seal of the City of Haysville to be affixed. Do we need a motion to approve proclamation? Councilman Crum?
I make a motion that we approve the proclamation for Police Week as presented.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Question, please.
Barkley,
Yes.
Walters.
Yes.
Rardon.
Yes.
Parton,
Yes.
Crum,
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
Thank you. Next, we have the National Public Works Week proclamation. Whereas public works professionals focus on infrastructure, facilities, and services that are of vital importance of sustainability and resilient communities, and to the public health, high quality of life, and well-being of the people of Haysville. And whereas these infrastructures, facilities, and services could not be provided without the dedicated efforts of public works professionals, who are engineers, managers, and employees at all levels of government, and the private sector, who are responsible for rebuilding, improving, and protecting our nation's transportation, water supply, water treatment, and solid waste systems, public buildings, and other structures and facilities essential for our citizens. And whereas it is in the public interest for civic leaders, citizens, and children in Haysville to gain knowledge of and to maintain an ongoing interest an understanding of the importance of public works and public works programs in their respective communities. And whereas the year 2022 marks the 62nd Annual National Public Works Week, sponsored by the American Public Works Association and Canadian Public Works Association, be it now. Therefore, I, Russ Kessler, Mayor of the City of Haysville, Kansas, on behalf of the council, staff, and residents, hereby proclaim the week of May 15th and 21st, 2022 as Public Works Week. Councilperson Parton.
I make a motion, we approve the proclamation for Public Works Week.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Question, please.
Barkley,
Yes.
Walters.
Yes.
Rardon.
Yes.
Parton.
Yes.
Crum.
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
Next, we have the proclamation for May Bike Month. Whereas May has been designated as National Bicycle Month since 1956 to showcase the many benefits of bicycling and encouraging more people to try bicycling. And whereas creating a bicycle-friendly community has been shown to improve citizens' health, well-being, and quality of life, reducing pollution, congestion, and wear and tear on our streets and roads. And whereas throughout the month of May, the residents of Haysville and its visitors will experience the joy of bicycling simply by getting out and going for a ride. And whereas the week of May 16th, the National Bike to Work Week, which promotes bicycling as a viable means of transportation to and from work. And Friday, May 20th, is Bike to Work Day. Now therefore, I, Russ Kessler, Mayor of the City of Haysville, Kansas, on behalf of the council, staff, and residents, hereby proclaim May as Bike Month. Councilman Crum.
Make a motion that we approve the proclamation for National Bike Month as presented.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Question, please.
Barkley,
Yes.
Walters.
Yes.
Rardon.
Yes.
Parton.
Yes.
Crum.
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
All right. Next, we have the presentation and approval of minutes. A, minutes of April 11th, 2022. Councilperson Parton.
Make a motion, we approve the minutes of April 11th, 2022 as presented.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Question, please.
Barkley,
Yes.
Walters.
Yes.
Rardon.
Yes.
Parton.
Yes.
Crum.
Yes.
Thompson
Thompson, sorry.
Abstain.
All right. Thank you. Next, we have item 1, citizens to be heard. Michelle Basil. Hope I'm pronouncing that right.
Hazel. Actually, a little intimidating. I know half of you in this room.
So if you could state your name again and then your address, please.
Michelle Basil, 425 West 4th Street. I am a single mom and homeowner of this house. The reason I'm here is because of the water or $40 non-payment fee. I don't agree with this nonsense fee when it's not disconnected. I did pay, excuse me, and I agree it's a fee if you get disconnected, but unfortunately, I mean, I don't agree with, because I paid a late fee on top of it. And then also, I got a bill for the $40 because I'm disputing it respectfully today. You guys want to turn me off tomorrow by not paying the $40 non-payment fee, and it's not including all my water bill fee, which is due on the 20th. So I feel this $40 fee, if it is there, I feel it should be a disconnection fee or reconnection fee. I don't agree with the nonsense fee. I am a property manager. I understand fees. We charge them, and when it is necessary, but I don't understand this fee, so I don't agree with it. So I'm here to protest. I also, I'm busy. I'm gonna be honest. What Westar or Evergy, they give you at least 2 months before shut off. I went a month. So I'm busy with all this stuff like everyone is, and we don't have recurring payments. So give a girl a break. And I have to come here to say that. So that's my business.
Okay, thank you.
Sorry.
Did any council members have any questions? Council person Parton?
Okay, so you paid it a month late, is that what you're saying?
Well, there is a it's
Right.
a
I
non-payment
understand
fee.
that.
So I've already paid the late fee and all of it. Like they gave me tag on my door, said they were gonna shut me off, but I already paid it. And the fee was actually put on after I paid all the fees. So it was on there after. So that's why I also don't understand it as well, because if it is a non-payment fee, I feel like it should be included with all the fees. Like, cause I paid it online and I called and I said, hey, I paid. And she's like, I know I didn't shut you off, but we have the non-payment fee, which was added on after. If it is a non-payment fee, it should be included with all the fees. Like the late fees, if you don't pay on that day and you're putting a non-payment fee, I feel like it should be on there already. I would have paid it online with all the other fees. That's why I have a non-payment fee on there today, because I've already paid all that was on there. I assumed I paid the non-payment fee. Because you have a late fee and then you have this non-payment fee, that's why I don't understand. It should be a disconnection fee or a reconnection fee.
Did you pay though after the after the due date the second time? Is that when it was? Or?
I'm not sure. I got the thing and I paid it, online. I was like, oh, I need to pay that. And then I got a tag on my door. My parents called me when I was at softball. So we made arrangements that night, but I called the next day and I said, oh, I paid that. And she's like, I know we didn't shut you off, but you still have the fee, and that fee showed up that next day. So that's why I'm here disputing it, because I'm a little upset. If there's a fee to be had, it should be on there. And I feel also, if you're shutting someone off, that it should be on the day that the water department is open after 7 to reconnect. Until 7, I'm sorry, that day. Because it also wasn't a late day too.
Yeah, we have the late day, the
Yeah.
Tuesday before, so that people can come in and pay.
Yeah, but it was on a non-late day.
Okay, so
as
you
well.
probably paid it late on Wednesday then, maybe?
I'm not sure, I don't
On
have the dates
shut-off
with
day?
me. I'm not sure, I don't have the dates with me, but I'm gonna be very honest with you, I don't agree with the fee, because if the fee was on there, I would have paid it, with all the other fees.
Go ahead, Steve.
Councilman Crum?
Tony, do you know the specifics on how bills, do we have, or who would?
I can show you the bill right now. I'm more disappointed, honestly, that the bill, my current $40 non-payment fee that's on there, I paid, like I said, I'm current up until May 20th for my current bill, and I have the $40 non-payment fee. I got it, they will shut me off tomorrow if I don't pay the non-payment fee of $40.
That's why I'm just waiting to see if the staff can explain to me how,
That works?
yeah.
Let me see if I have that.
So, they received a bill the first of the month. It's due the 20th. If it's not paid by the end of the day, 20th, then there is the late fee that is assessed, the 3% fee. If then it's not paid by the second morning, like by 8 a.m. the second Wednesday, then they get put on the shut-off list. And that's when the $40 is added that morning. If
So is
we
that-
haven't received it by 8 a.m.
So if they look online to pay a bill, is that $40 gonna be
No.
on there?
No, there's a note that says that you have to call in if it's after that date. Because the way the software is, it doesn't add that fee through the online payment system.
Until
So
the next
there's-
billing cycle.
Until the next billing. So that's why there's that note on there to call in the payments.
But why do I have till May 10th, when my water bill is incurred, to pay the $40 when it should be connected with the water bill to shut off?
Because what happened was, you paid it after the $40 was assessed on that Wednesday, the second Wednesday, when it's shut-off day. But because of the software, which I've paid late, and I've called them and said, hey, I paid late, do I need to pay interest? So it doesn't show up there until your next billing cycle.
I understand, but you are sending me a bill saying you're gonna shut me off for the non-payment fee,
Right.
not my water bill.
But it's still due. It was still due on the last one.
I know, but
Was
I
it-
don't understand.
Was
I'm
it
gonna
on
be
the
honest.
last one? Does that make sense? Was that, would that $40 not show up until the next bill?
Because
So, yeah.
So has she actually seen this $40 on a bill yet?
no.
No. It probably wouldn't have shown up on her bill because the bills are printed that 21st, so they're printed before. It should have been on the one you just got the first though. So
No,
then
it's
we
just my
did-
current, it says $42 was just my current bill that's due on the 20th.
So the bills get printed the 21st, they go out on the 1st, or they go out the day before the 1st, so you receive them on the 1st. Last Monday, we sent out the green notices, which would show the past due. Because she didn't pay that 40, that's considered the past due amount. So that is why that's getting the green.
But she had not seen that $40 on a bill yet.
It should have been on that one that she received last, when was the 1st?
No,
Last
it's
week.
not, because it's not on this current bill, which is my 42, because if it was on my current bill, then it would be 84, or 82, I'm sorry.
And that's just the late notice, that's not the actual bill. The white card is the actual.
I know, but this is what you're telling me is late, you know what I mean? It would
Right.
all be late. That's what I'm saying. I don't agree with the nonsense $40 fee, that's why I'm here, but I'm honestly disputing the fee, mostly because I agree, if there's a $40 fee, it should be for a reconnection or disconnection fee. If you have to send someone out there to reconnect or disconnect a water bill, or water, then yes, there should be a bigger fee. I don't agree with the $40 non-payment fee, because you didn't disconnect my water. I don't agree with the fee because you already charge a late fee per month.
So do we like charge a late fee if you're a month late and then 2 weeks later or a week later, there's another late fee on top of it?
There's no additional late fee, there's the non-payment penalty that's applied that second Wednesday at 8 a.m. So it is $40 fee. It is listed in the code as a non-payment penalty. It's not a disconnect fee or a reconnect fee. A few months ago, due to the volume, and we did switch the process a little bit to where we just hang the tag on Wednesday and we don't actually go back and shut off until Thursday, giving people a chance to actually come in and make that payment in an effort to not have to disconnect, for two reasons: because people are at work, and also to save the staff time that it takes to go out there and turn it off and turn it back on.
How long has that been in our ordinance, do you know, I guess?
For the non-payment penalty, I don't know.
Says code 2003.
Okay.
Councilman Barclay, you have a question?
From your April 1st bill,
Mhm.
did you ever get the $40 non-payment from then till your May 1st bill?
My May 1st bill. Well, I'm gonna say no, because this is my current, she told me this is my current bill, which is 42, and that's my current bill that's due on the 20th of May.
That's the late due. Her current bill would have both amounts.
No, if it was late, then it would show me both, because I got this and I meant to pay it that day, but it was softball, and I meant to pay it, but I didn't pay it, and
I'm looking up the bill in the system right now for the property, and the bill that went out, May 1st bill, was a total of $82.02.
it was, okay. Sorry. So why is it 42 then?
Because that's just your late amount, is all that is.
But I'm late the $40.
Plus 2%.
Send me,
So I get another late fee on a late fee.
there's a late fee on the non-payment penalty. The penalty was added on April 14th for non-payment, and the $2 was on April 22nd. And so the bill that went out for May 1st was $82.02.
When is the shut off?
There will be one tomorrow, or Wednesday, the second Wednesday of the month.
Okay, so that $40 came out after she paid her April rent, or April water. And that's when it got added on between when she paid the April and when May's.
So
water
when
bill
she,
came out.
when she made the payment, she paid everything but that $40 non-payment penalty.
Because it wasn't added on.
Right, and I
If
do
you put out the
understand that.
thingies, all I'm saying is, if you put out the things on the doors and you say you're getting shut off and you have a non-payment fee, it should already be on the fees. It should already be on the bills. It should already be available to pay, or it would have been paid.
But threatening notice to say you're gonna get shut off for a.
Ma'am, you want to come up to the podium and,
I'm sorry.
you want to come up to the podium and, you want to come up to the podium and speak?
Yes.
I came to her door to pick up her dog, actually, because she's a single mom and moved with the dog. There was a disconnect notice on her door that says the water was disconnected.
What was your name again?
I'm Vicki Basil,
Okay.
and I'm her mother. So I came to her door, there was the water has been disconnected. She says, why? I paid that morning. So I said, well, you're gonna have to make arrangements to bathe your daughter at my house, to get your, and then call them in the morning, because they're closed already, because it was after 5. So come to find out, the water wasn't even shut off. So she made all these arrangements, has to pay a $40 fee after she already paid everything that was due. And now she gets a notice that the fee, if she didn't pay the fee before, what date?
Tomorrow.
Before tomorrow, when the water bill isn't even due yet. So she's gonna have to get shut off for a penalty fee. How is any of that right? And now you're being charged late fees on the penalty fee? This is a error in our system, okay? And it's confusing, and she was 1 month behind. She wasn't behind 6 or 10 months or anything like that. 1 month. And she paid it on the last day. And then she's getting charged what was your water bill? $42. Okay, and she's getting a charge of $40 fee. That is an excessive and stupid amount. And her water was not shut off. It said it was shut off. So it's this intimidating, we said we did, but we didn't even do it. So she didn't even go in to check out her water. She made arrangements to bring her daughter over, did all these things. So that wasn't even shut off. So they charged a fee for not shut. Like she's saying, and what I'm saying is, we understand if the water was shut off, you have to send somebody out there to shut it off and send somebody to turn it back on. That didn't even happen. And then also, like you said, if you're gonna shut it off, why don't you do it on the day it's open late? Because I've had my water shut off before in the past. It's been a few years, quite a few years. But I was able to get there, and they came back even before 7, but that was back in the day, long time ago. But everybody goes through times in life, but to get charged a fee for the same amount as the water usage, that's a bit ridiculous of a fee, and already paid the late fees on top of it. So that's all we're arguing here today. She's a little upset because it's a stupid fee. And they told her the only way it could get waived is to come here. So to air out all your sins in front of all you people. So that's also another intimidating thing, to dispute a fee.
Thank you. Councilman Berkeley, you have a question?
Sorry.
So, at what point, because I get late fees all the time, because whenever I do the online payment, it takes a little longer to get here than it does my other bill processors.
Are you going through your bank or through our
Through
system?
my bank.
Okay. Yes, it can take up to 2 weeks when you do it that way.
Yeah, and so sometimes I'll pay on like the Friday before, and it's a few days late. I've never gotten a non-payment fee. At what point does the non-payment fee get tacked on?
That at 8 a.m. that Wednesday morning.
So if
It
it's
ends up being
due-
more like 8:30 because we process all the payments we've received up until then, and then it gets assessed the $40.
But she
the
paid it
Wednesday
before that went
following
in.
the first,
The second Wednesday of the month.
the second Wednesday of the month.
Yeah, 'cause the bills are due what, the 20th?
Yes.
And so then it's not for like 3 more weeks is when the non-payment would kick in. Because it's the second Wednesday of the month.
Depending on when the, okay.
At least 8 days plus the 20 or 10 after
Right.
the month, or whatever it is.
Right.
So 18 roughly. So 2.5 weeks or something.
And then from that second Wednesday, that's issued, and then when are the green tickets hung on the door?
The green go out the week before as a notice. Those have to go out at a minimum of 5 days prior to the shut-off day to let people know you need to make your payment by this date. It also includes on there that we're open late on that Tuesday so that those payments could be made then, or extension signed. And then that Wednesday would be what's called water shut-off day, and we hang those red tags.
Okay.
So if she doesn't pay this fee by tomorrow, she's gonna get another $40 fee on the $40? Is that how that would work? Just out of curiosity.
If she didn't pay or sign an extension. Oh, that wasn't offered.
Where's an extension offered?
Here at City Hall, you can get an extension.
Oh, but it's not on the bill anywhere, that an extension is available? You're just supposed to know that?
I don't remember what the green card says.
Well, it says your delinquent water bill, your water payment is past due. Well, it's not a delinquent water payment, it is a delinquent fee that's past due. Because the only thing she owes as of today, other than the water bill that just came out for May 1st, this is a balance due that to be shut off by the 10th. Because the May water bill is due when? The one that came out the 1st?
It's due the 20th.
The 20th. Okay, so the one she's gonna be shut off tomorrow if she doesn't pay for is the $40 fee. It's you're gonna shut off, not for water. It says you're gonna shut off for delinquent water payment, but it's not even for water. It's a shut off for the water fee. So if she doesn't pay it, she's gonna have to pay, is there a reconnection fee for water if it gets shut off?
No, there's just the $40 non-payment penalty.
Okay, so it would make more sense if you guys had a shut off and startup fee for disconnection, because a $40 fee when you're already paying a late fee is for what? And she didn't, it wasn't shut off anyway. It was said that she was shut off, so that was a lie. It wasn't shut off.
Right, but it's a non-payment fee and it's an incentive to make sure you pay your bill before it gets shut off.
I paid it.
She did shut it.
But you paid it on the Wednesday when the shut-off day is the deal, and at 8 o'clock they assess the
I
fees.
also understand.
But she
But
paid
like
it
I
and the
said-
fee wasn't on there yet.
Because the software will not add it on until the new bill comes out.
That's not true, because that fee was on there, and that's what she's getting shut off for tomorrow.
It was
When did
after
you-
my payment. I paid everything that was on.
And then the fee came on.
Yeah.
Right.
And it wasn't on a Wednesday.
But it wouldn't be on there because the software does not update the current bill.
But yet, but the software tells you to shut people off when the current bill isn't even due yet. So if you're gonna have this fee, and, okay, like I said, I do fees at work too, everybody's got their fees for everything. It's not due until the next water bill's due.
Not your past due amount.
It should, well, it shouldn't have a past due
That
amount
is
except
your
for the
past due
fee.
amount. It's
And it wasn't even
$40.
billed yet.
All right, anybody have any other questions?
That's ridiculous. Y'all need to look in your system.
All right, well, thank you.
No, I want to know if we can waive the fee, because that's how I had to come here to do
Yeah,
that.
that's what she had.
That's the
what this is
whole
for.
reason I came here. Not for the conflict. I wanted it.
Right, well, that's all the questions I see from council.
Who determines if it's, they said that you would be the ones that would determine if the fee is waived or not.
Right, if a council member wanted to bring that up, then that would be at that point.
A council member.
Councilman Crum?
So she can't come in and ask for and apply for an extension tomorrow?
Yes.
Would she be penalized if she did that?
No.
I would like to see the ordinance and look to see if maybe we can figure out something different with it.
Chris can pull that up. I actually made a copy.
I don't know if it would be something we would work on tonight. I'd rather see it come in a packet so we could actually have a chance to look at, maybe compare it to some other areas around here. And because I know we have a lot of other people in town that have assessed this fee and stuff, I don't want us to start a revolving door with people coming in when they get that fee. So I would recommend to you for now is to get an extension on it and give us an opportunity to
No, I'm
look
gonna
at
pay
it
it
to
tonight.
see
It's
if we can
fine.
change it.
Thank you.
She'd have to take off work to come to Haysville before the place closes. It'd cost her almost as much in gas and lost wages, but thank you for your time.
Councilman Walters, do you have something?
Apparently not now.
All right, next we have item 2, approval of licenses and bonds. First one, we have A, refuse hauler's license renewal for Best Value Services LLC. If you remember from, this was tabled from our last meeting, so all the requirements have been met, and fees have been paid, and staff is recommending approval. I know it was questioned as far as complaints from citizens, that, you know, just like any other business, if you have a complaint against the business, that person has opportunity to find services elsewhere. Councilman Warden?
Yeah, I was just gonna, I met with Mr. Solomon, the owner of Best Value. We talked and visited. He showed me some of the stuff he went through. He had truck breakdown, he couldn't find parts. I know you're gonna find it's hard to believe, you can't find anybody that wants to work. Finding people that wanna come to work, show up on time, whatever. He showed me his clientele. He has a large amount of clientele. So I told him, you know, I said, hey, we just wanna, you know, as far as my neighbor, I visited with my neighbor. He said that Mr. Solomon reached out to him. He made it right. He actually gave him a refund on some of his trash bill and everything, so I think Mr. Solomon is, he didn't show up tonight because he was very intimidated to come to council and talk before council. That's what he told me. But I told him, I said, that's fine. I did visit with him, and so I, like, you know, with staff and everything, I think that we need to approve this license. In fact, if there's no other questions, I will make a motion that we approve this license for Best Value.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Councilperson Parton.
And the reason I brought this up is because the person I know personally, it was 6 weeks. And when they finally canceled it, they had to call the commercial side, not the residential side, because they couldn't get an answer on the residential side. Leave a message on the commercial side that they were canceling, you know, after they tried to get service all this time.
Right.
And they canceled, and when their deal picked up, then they still got a bill. They wanted to pay March and June. So I still have a problem with Best Value and the way they're doing their business. I mean, I'm not saying they can't do business, I'm just saying they need to fix it. Because your neighbor is great, but there's other people
That aren't.
are having problems still.
Councilman Berkeley.
Did he have a plan laid out to fix it, or
Yes.
did he just have excuses?
No.
Because water bill girl had excuses, but those don't cut it. You know, do we need a new trash service? Or did it sound like he had it fixed?
No, he, in fact, he has acquired a new truck, or not, it's new to him, it's not a brand new one. He's acquired a new truck. He's doing diligently to try to hire more help. He did admit that there were issues, and he said that, you know, he's been trying to work. He has, you know, he showed me he's got, he does trash service for McConnell Air Force Base. He does it for all of the city of Wichita, all their libraries and all their city buildings. But I understand Councilman Parton's, or Councilperson Parton's concerns, and I understand that, but, I mean, they might turn around and bite me, but, I mean, he genuinely seemed to be upfront and forward with about everything that he's trying to get taken care of. So.
Councilman Walters.
Councilperson Parton, did you say that that was resolved or not resolved to the satisfaction? It's still an
They're
issue?
still trying to send her bills.
They're still trying to bill her for 2 weeks, or 2 months?
Well, yeah, for 2 months. She didn't have it for 6 months of the 3 months, or 6 weeks of the 3 months. And then they sent her a bill, wanted her to pay 3 months for March and 3 months starting June.
So they're not working with her at all on this?
No, she canceled. She canceled and they're still sending her bills.
Well, it seems like action speaks louder than words for me, so, I mean,
And I just talked to this person Saturday and was told this.
okay.
Any further discussion? We have a motion and a second. Question, please.
Barkley,
No.
Walters,
No.
Rardon,
Yes.
Parton,
No.
Crum,
Yes.
Thompson.
No.
Okay, that's, I believe 4-2. Is that correct? So what would have to happen would be a motion to revoke their license. And then they have opportunity to, I believe, write a statement for what is that called?
They can have a public hearing to reconsider, in essence.
Okay. And how many days is that?
I think it's 20, but I need to find the ordinance.
Councilman Barkley?
I think that if he would have showed up and spoke to all of us, that it would have been a different issue, and we would have been able to face-to-face have, like, work out some problems like Miss Parton has with her citizen. I mean, if water bill girl is gonna come and be brave enough to fight $40, a business owner should be able to be brave enough to come and answer a few questions.
Good.
I found the ordinance, it's 7-310, allowing for the revocation of a license. In the event any collectors or collectors shall fail to comply with the provisions of the article, city clerk may, with consent of governing body, upon 10 days' notice to collector, revoke or cancel any contract or license. Any collectors or collector may appeal such revocation order within 10 days to the governing body. So it sounds like we have to give them 10 days' notice.
Okay, and for the revocation, would a violation need to be stated?
I would prefer someone make a motion, state the reason why we're revoking their license. And we'd need approval by council, and then we'd have to give them 10 days' notice. It wouldn't happen upon approval. It'd be 10 days in the future when it would actually happen according to the ordinance. And they can appeal that revocation within that 10 days back to the governing body.
Councilman Crum?
My biggest problem with this is what about the people that aren't having a problem with them and they already are having them come and pick up their trash as a licensed thing? If we revoke it, do they continue to be able to pick up trash here for the, until that revocation hearing? And then if that hearing, if it doesn't get repealed and so they're not licensed, what happens to everybody in town that already has a contract with them and they're already picking up their trash? So I think this goes into a whole, I mean, we had, you can pick any business in town, and you're gonna have somebody that's not happy with service they got there. But we don't have those businesses leave town. You just tell those people that weren't happy, they pick somewhere else to go. I think we're opening ourselves up if we start trying to be the Better Business Bureau here. The people that are having a problem with them, I mean, and I know people that pay bills and they still get billed even though they're not part of the thing. And is it a pain? Yes, but she's not getting any penalties if she doesn't pay. She can just get it and put it in a shredder when it comes in the mail.
Until they send it to her credit report.
Or put a lien on their house, which has happened to me, for $15. They put a lien on my house.
I just think I think it would cause a real issue for other people in town that already have contracts with them to pick up their trash. That's my biggest concern. And like I say, what happens to those people right away? I mean, if that passes and we do end up revoking it after 10 days, do the people that they're contracted with already, do they all of a sudden not have a trash service that can pick up here?
You have to be licensed to pick up trash.
So that means that all those people would not have anybody to come pick up their trash. And they would all have to go out and find a new trash service and get signed up for it. And no telling how much they would get charged for it or when the pickup date would be or anything. So that's just, I've got a real concern trying to do this.
I agree with you. And that's how it should be. That's why I disagree with licensing. If you don't like them, get rid of them, go to somebody else.
Yeah, but I don't have a problem with licensing because you need to make sure they're not tearing
City
the town up or
licensing.
something. If they were coming in with trucks that were tearing up the town and messing the streets up and stuff like that, that's one thing. But when they're just giving poor service to some people where other people are not, that's my biggest concern.
Yeah, 'cause all their vehicles, their vehicles pass inspection. Yeah, all the requirements have been met for a license.
And I also have to believe that we would possibly be opening ourselves up to litigation.
So what would council like to do? In order to deny their license, their revocation would have to take place.
Could we make a motion to put like a 90-day probation period on it, on renewal?
That sounds good.
Would that be something we can do on the fly?
There's nothing in the ordinance that contemplates probationary period. You know, the way that it's structured is that if they meet all the requirements, the clerk can generally issue the license, but the license comes up every year, and we've always put it on the council agenda for council to review. This is the first time, in my experience, that one has not been renewed. They have to have a license, so if council wants to revoke their license, you know, they could pass a motion. But right now, we're not gonna be able to renew their current license, so they're not gonna be able to continue to do business in the city.
But is there anything in there that says we can't put a trial period in there for 90 days?
I think you could approve the license for a period of 90 days and then have it come back up if that's something you guys would like to do. Problem is the licenses are annual as provided by the ordinance as well, so I don't know if that's something, you know, we can do without changing the ordinance. I would recommend maybe
What if we
tabled it till next meeting, contact the owner again, and then, you know, hopefully he or she can come and actually answer your guys' questions.
When does his license expire?
It has expired.
It already has expired.
Oh, it already has. So he's,
We gave him a grace period. We said, I think in the motion last meeting or something, said something about he'd still continue to be able to do it until.
so we could continue to give him a grace period.
If he, we give him a grace period on it, if he showed
I'll go
up.
ahead and make that I'd like to make a motion that we table this item until the next meeting. Request him to come, and also ask council to review to see if we can put a 90-day grace period on something, a trial period, a probational period, to see if we can get the situations fixed. And let him to continue to pick up during this month before the next meeting.
Second that.
All right, so we have a motion and a second to table this last item, 2A, for the refuse license renewal for Best Value. Is there any discussion? Question, please.
Barkley,
Yes.
Walters,
Yes.
Rardon,
Yes.
Parton,
Yes.
Crum,
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes. Okay, next we have B, the license renewal for On-Site Incorporated at 5720 North Broadway. Councilperson Parton.
Make a motion, we approve the refuse hauler's license renewal for on-site.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Question, please.
Barkley,
Yes.
Walters.
Yes.
Rardon,
Yes.
Parton,
Yes.
Crum,
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
All right, next we have C, the mobile home license renewal for Park Avenue Estates. Councilperson Parton.
Make a motion, we approve the license renewal from Park Avenue Estates.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Question, please.
Barkley,
Yes.
Walters,
Yes.
Rardon,
Yes.
Parton,
Yes.
Crum,
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes. All right, next we have item 3, introduction of ordinances and resolutions. We have Brett Shogren here for this resolution authorizing and directing the issuance, sale, and delivery of general obligation temporary notes, Series A 2022 of the City of Haysville. So this is for the paving, water, wastewater.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor and Council. Brett Shogren, Stiefel Nicholas and Company, financial advisor to the city. At previous meetings, you've adopted numerous resolutions authorizing infrastructure projects for Copper Tail Addition, and you've also adopted a resolution scheduling a temporary note sale for today, May 9th at 10 a.m. This morning, we opened the bids and received 4 bids on the temporary notes. We received bids from Intrust Bank, Northland Securities Incorporated, Commerce Bank, and the best bid we got was from Country Club Bank out of Leawood at a true interest cost of 2.549651%. We analyzed that bid and checked it for accuracy, and it checked out as the best bid. There's a resolution finalizing the process for consideration tonight. It's the note issuance resolution that accepts the best bid from Country Club Bank and awards the notes to Country Club for reoffering. Once approved, we'll finalize the final official statement. We'll order the notes printed. We'll submit the transcript to the Attorney General's office for approval, and the notes are scheduled to close on June 1st, 2022, which is when you'll have the funds for your project. Be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Council have any questions or like to make a motion?
That's why I stopped.
Councilman Crum?
Do we need to approve the resolution first or the bids first?
I believe it's all lumped into one motion.
Okay. I'll make a motion that we approve the resolution authorizing and directing the issuance, sale, and deliverance of general obligation temporary notes, Series A 2022, the City of Haysville, Kansas, making certain payments and security thereof, and to accept the bid from Country Club Bank at a true interest cost of 2.549651%.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second to approve the resolution of Country Club Bank for the true interest cost as presented. Is there any discussion? Question, please.
Barkley?
Yes.
Walters?
Yes.
Martin?
Yes.
Carton?
Yes.
Crum?
Yes.
Thompson?
I was reading.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, next we have B. We have Sarah Steele from Gilmore Bell, and I believe Jennifer from Midwest Health is on Zoom.
Good evening, I'm Sarah Steele with Gilmore and Bell. We're bond counsel to the city, and we're here this evening with a new project. Jennifer is on Zoom, I hope, to discuss any questions with respect to the project, but they are looking at constructing a new senior health care facility here in the city, and the process involves the issuance of industrial revenue bonds. I think it's been quite a while since we've done them here, and there are two benefits that they can achieve through the issuance of these IRBs. The first is a sales tax exemption on all of the materials being purchased for the project. The second is they're eligible at your discretion for a property tax exemption of up to 10 years, up to 100%, excluding the school district's capital outlay levy. So there is a slight benefit to the school district. There are processes that are required by state law in order to get the project going. The first is that there was a cost-benefit analysis that was run, and generally the Department of Commerce in Kansas recommends if the ratio is 1.3 to 1, that it's a good positive project. It was run at 100% for 10 years, minus the capital outlay levy. And the ratios demonstrated were city was 1.58, the county was 1.99, and USD 261 was 4.17. That would obviously reflect that they do still get at least their capital outlay levy portion of the taxes. The second step is that a notice of public hearing was published at the end of April, and it called for a public hearing here at this meeting to address any public comment. The project is in an amount not to exceed $10 million, and it is located at the intersection of a street that currently doesn't exist. but I did pull it up on your map, and obviously it will have to be extended down through that area. And I apologize, it's located near the intersection of K Avenue and Carla Avenue. So that will be the general vicinity where it's located, 51 units. And the company involved is Clayton, K-L-A-T-O-N Properties. And they will be the owner and or operator. They may contract that to another related entity. So the first thing you need to do is convene a public hearing. And then after the public hearing, we'll consider a resolution of intent to issue these bonds. We'll then come back to the council later with an ordinance that actually authorizes the issuance of the bonds. I'd be happy to answer any questions, or Mayor, if you'd like to just convene the public hearing.
Okay, just so everybody knows, this is the development agreement, or the development agreement the council approved back in December. Our IRBs were part of the city's obligation to this agreement. Councilman Crum?
My first question is, before we start the public hearing, is because I'm curious, is where did we come up with the $10 million? Did the company ask for that? Is that like a limit?
Yes. That was based on the company's budget and what they project that they're going to spend.
Okay.
That was also in the development agreement.
Okay.
Somebody like to open this for up for a public hearing? Councilman Crum?
I make a motion that we open a public hearing to discuss I scrolled up too far. The issuance not to exceed of $10 million principal amount of industrial revenue bonds as presented in our packet.
Second. We have a motion and a second to open a public hearing. Any discussion? Question, please.
Barkley,
Yes.
Walters,
Yes.
Burden,
Yes.
Parton,
Yes.
Crum,
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes. All right, public hearing is open.
I will add, since we're in the public hearing, that the industrial revenue bonds are a mechanism for the city to be able to give these benefits, but the city is in no way responsible for the payment on these bonds. It's purely the city acting as a conduit on behalf of the company as required by state law. But again, it's not the city issuing bonds like your temporary notes that you just did. It's purely an obligation of the company to repay, and in no way is the city involved, and it doesn't involve the city's debt. So those are my last words.
Okay, thank you. Councilman Crum?
So, if I heard what you guys just said right, when we did the agreement in December, we already basically said we were gonna do IRBs in that agreement.
Correct.
Okay, so this is just us doing what we said we were gonna do.
Holding the public hearing.
Okay.
Any other questions? So I guess we can close the public hearing. Councilman Crum?
I'll make a motion to close the public hearing.
Second. We have a motion and a second to close the public hearing. Any discussion? Question, please.
Barkley,
Yes.
Walters,
Yes.
Burden,
Yes.
Parton,
Yes.
Crum,
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes. Is that it? Or,
Next, you need to consider the resolution of
resolution.
intent.
okay. Councilman Crum?
I make a motion that we approve the resolution of the governing body of the city of Haysville, Kansas, determining the advisability of issuing taxable industrial revenue bonds for the purpose of financing the acquisition, construction, and equipping of an health care facility to be located in the city, and authorizing execution of related documents.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Question, please.
Barkley,
Yes.
Walters,
Yes.
Burden,
Yes.
Parton,
Yes.
Crum,
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes. All right, thank you. All right, next we have C, an ordinance amending Chapter 3, Article 1, Section 4, regarding the application requirements for general malt beverage licenses. Councilman Crum?
Going through the memorandum, I guess I have a concern about the proposed change to it. I understand we have to, part of the change we have to do because of the state of Kansas. I don't know if I'm comfortable with our inspector who is used to inspecting fences and land and businesses to decide whether or not salt beverage, a beverage, I think there's different training involved there. And I guess my question is, because it talks about health department, is that not a service that the Sedgwick County Health Department should and would be able to supply for us?
Josh?
Oh, so I originally started revising this ordinance because of the state statute that says that folks out of state.
I understand that.
Okay, so then we're reviewing it, and there are references to a city health officer, which we don't have, right? So figuring out, who does the inspections now, and it's, in essence, it's a member of Public Works, that does inspections. So I just wanted to make sure that the ordinance, since we were going to make some changes anyway, kind of complied with how we operate right now at the city. We don't have health officers employed, and it didn't make any sense to reference a public health officer. So I don't disagree that we necessarily don't have expertise in that area. They're still required to get the same sort of inspection and licensing from the county or the state that they'd have to. I'm not changing or suggesting we change any of those requirements. Just the title of the person here at the city that goes and does the inspection is all.
And we've already been doing it that way.
And that's, so nothing changes about how we do the inspections or anything like that. I just want to make sure the reference referred to someone that's actually employed at the city.
So we give them a local level, but there would be actually a health officer at some point that they have to.
Depending on the type of establishment, I don't know what Cedric County's specific requirements are, but we have different types of establishments that sell cereal malt beverage, whether it be a restaurant, which is going to have different inspection requirements than a gas station, you know what I mean? So, but for our purposes, nothing's changed in our ordinance about the inspections we conduct and the information we collect to issue that license, if that answers your question.
Tony, do we know if that person has at least talked to somebody who's maybe in the health field about what they look for when they do that? And how does Wichita do it? Do they have somebody from Sedgwick County, or do you know?
We have not, and I do not know.
I can tell you, like the fall festival, we didn't call the health department, but the health department usually came out and did inspections to all the food vendors and the beer. I mean, that was just something they did. We didn't have to call anybody or anything like that.
My understanding is part of their state licensing, that's automatically a portion of it.
You have to say they're gonna set up a certain place.
Okay.
So
Okay.
that's
what
when they get,
I just had a concern about it, but if that's already what we're doing and it looks like they are getting checked by other people, then I'm fine. I just wanted to make sure.
Councilman Walters?
Well, it makes sense that we update our ordinances to comply with the state, but it does seem to open up an issue. Are we training our inspectors appropriately? So I'm wondering if maybe we should either add in to ensure the training is there, or add that on somewhere else. Because it sounds like maybe we're doing things that we need other expertise to help. So either we ensure we get that help, or we ensure that we have the expertise to do what we should be doing.
I mean, I didn't know if like even the Sedgwick County Health Department, maybe they could just give our guy just like a checklist. Check these 12 things, make sure these 12 things are right. So, I mean, I understand that this is what we're doing now, but I kind of like to make sure that we actually checking things that we need to be checking. So, I mean, I would be okay having the ordinance just like this, but I guess I would request staff to make sure that we get that person some sort of training.
So So I guess the question is, what are we inspecting then? Isn't that really what you're getting at compared to what the county may be inspecting and,
Right.
you know, so.
And what our inspector normally inspects.
So I think if you want specific answers to that, I would recommend tabling this until next meeting and letting staff kind of figure out those details so we can tell you kind of who inspects what, if that makes sense. And then would that be helpful? Because I guess from my point of view, to be able to document, if we're going to change, you know, the requirements for the issuance of the license, I would need recommendations from council as to what it is we want to be inspected, I guess, you know what I mean? That's not specifically in here to get to kind of what you guys are asking for, if that makes sense.
I'm not sure I'm not asking for increased oversight in this regard necessarily, but to ensure that whoever is doing it at the local level, that they understand, they have the training, that they do what they are equipped to do, or they ask the city or the county to get the appropriate help. So I don't want to expand somebody's requirements necessarily, but just ensure that we have we're the knowledge that if we are going to do an inspection, we know either we know how to do it, or two, we know where to get help.
So just to add to the conversation, our city inspector currently does business license inspections, where he'll go into a business once a year and look at, you know, breaker panels, make sure it's clear, kind of similar to what the fire department does on their end, but also safety, smoke detectors, fire sprinkler system if they're required. And I'm not aware of the requirements for this, but I would assume they're close to it. And if they are, if we do table this and city staff researches it, and those are those things, that is something our city inspector is more than comfortable performing those type of things.
Sounds like a good plan.
Councilman Barkley?
If we do table it, is it gonna mess with anything that's planned already for the next month?
No, the state statutes, state's already changed the law, so this is just to make our ordinance kind of match what theirs is, because right now, our ordinance only says you have to be from the state of Kansas, and that's not state law anymore, so I was just trying to make sure that we comply with what the state passed last year. And that's when I saw these other kind of old references and said, look, if we're going to change it, we need to make sure it's updated to what our current situation is. So
the county health inspector would still be doing the health portion. This is just stating that for inspecting it for licensing, the safety and all that would be through our inspector.
Yeah, because it just references
And-
premises.
Yes.
So we're saying that our inspector doesn't need additional training necessarily.
No, the intent isn't for him to be checking the health code violations. His is more to be inspecting the premise to make sure they're up to code.
Okay, so if it is a health thing, then this county comes in.
Right.
Okay, I didn't understand that either. I thought he was going in to decide if stuff was actually, if it was like things that people are gonna consume, whether or not they were stored correctly and that kind of thing. If it just has to do with premises, and the county still come in and doing that health stuff, then I'm fine.
That makes a little more sense.
Sure.
So what would council like to do? Anybody like to make a motion? Councilman Walters?
I make a motion we approve the changes as written.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the ordinance amending Chapter 3, Article 1, Section 4, regarding application requirements for cereal malt beverage license. Any discussion? Question, please.
Barkley?
Yes.
Walters?
Yes.
Martin?
Yes.
Parton?
Yes.
Crum?
Yes.
Thompson?
Yes.
All right, thank you. Next, item 4, notices and communications, governing body announcements. Councilman Crum.
Library coming up in May, on the 10th, so tomorrow, you're gonna have teacher story time, parents' teacher story time from 10 to 11. And at 6 p.m., County Commissioner Lopez will be having a citizens advisory group there. On the 12th, which will be the parents' teacher story time, that's on Tuesdays at 10 and 11. And then on the 12th, which is Thursday, on Thursdays, they have toddler time at 10:05. Good news, the genealogy group meetings have resumed, and that will be on May 14th at 2 p.m. And then on May 16th, the summer reading registration begins. That's always a big popular event for the library, and I would expect to continue to see that going on. That sign up again begins on the 16th. May 18th at 4 p.m. we're going to start with the Lego Club back up. There is a Red Cross blood drive from 10 to 4 on May 20th. On the 24th, they'll be having a 3 p.m. matinee movie, The Little Mermaid. Then there are going to be a new group of rotating books that they have that will come in on the 25th. And then on May 30th, the library will be closed for Memorial Day. On the 31st, they are having a rubber band loom and perler bead class at 10 a.m. And then also on the 31st at 3 p.m., they'll have another movie matinee. Moana is what's showing. And that's what's kind of going on at the library. Their activities will really start picking up when school's out, which that's another thing I wanted to mention. School is out on the 17th. It'll be a half a day. I believe the middle school starts getting out sometime around 10:30, and the high school gets out shortly after them, and then the elementary school gets out about 11:30 or 11:20, something like that. So on that day on the 17th, which is a Tuesday, I just ask people to please be careful and watch, because kids are excited, they're getting out, and they're not always thinking about what they're doing, so watch those kids out on the street. And also that means that you're gonna start seeing a lot more kids out running around, and please keep an eye out for them. That's all I got.
All right, thank you. Anybody else? All right, I got a few. For the senior center, Wednesday, May 11th, donuts, coffee, and conversation at 8:30 a.m. Tuesday, May 17th, Debate Expo in Derby at 2 p.m. Wednesday, May 18th, breakfast with grandkids at Brahms, that's at 8:30 a.m. Also the same day, May 18th, commodities distribution at 1 p.m. Wednesday, the 25th, lunch at Hiro Hibachi, 11:30 a.m. Saturday, May 28th, friends and family breakfast at 10 a.m. Monday, May 30th, senior center and Haysville Hustle will be closed. For the numbers for Haysville Hustle, in April, one-way rides, there were 288, 3 new registered rides. Also, this evening, right before the council meeting, we had the Arbor Day celebration, planting trees out there at Dorner Park. Had a lot of scouts out there, Cub Scouts and Boy Scouts were out there. So had several. Also on May 18th at 6:30 a.m. it's going to be the first annual Mayor's Prayer Breakfast. So if you'd like to attend that, there are several places where you can buy tickets. Tickets are $10. You can purchase those at First Christian Church, Haysville Christian Church, Haysville United Methodist, Resurrection Lutheran Church, West Haysville Baptist Church, and City Hall. So this is takes place at 6:30 a.m. at Haysville Christian Church. The meal will be catered by breakfast at the Pasadena. And the following day, there's going to be a bike ride with the mayor. That'll be starting at the Vicker Station. The check-in starts at 6 p.m. and the ride starts at 7. It's a 2-mile ride. Pretty easy ride around the bike paths. There'll be several giveaways people can sign up for. They can have a chance to win one of 3 bikes. There's an adult bike and 3 children's bikes. And June 1st at 7 p.m. be at Pliggins Carpenter, the Haysville Aviators will have their first home game. I'll be throwing the first pitch out, so hopefully my arm holds up. Councilman Crum.
Mayor, I was just curious, the $10 for the prayer breakfast, is that just to cover the food, or are they
Correct.
raising money for like the food bank or anything?
This is the, let's see, the Haysville Ministerial Alliance is putting it on. So collecting the money will go back to them, and they will pay for the food. So it's to pay for the food.
Okay.
So,
okay. I was just curious.
But they are the ones that sponsoring it.
Okay.
All right, next on the agenda, we have the Cedric County Fire Department Station 34 monthly report. It's in your packet. Get caught up here. All right, next we have memo for the beginning May 16th City Hall and Public Works facilities will be open for the following hours. They're changing the hours. So Monday through Thursday, 7:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. and Friday from 7:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. City Hall will remain open until 7 p.m. on Tuesdays before water shutoff days. And that's in your packet. All right, next we have the memo for utility billing write-offs. And item 5, old business, we have none. Item 6, other business. We have consideration of site use agreement with Cedric County for household hazardous waste event. So in your packet, let's see. I know it says April in there, but when someone makes the motion, I would think it'd say, have the change for May. And then the county will put the final date in it once they approve it. So the date is, it's in your packet, but it's June 25th from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. here at City Hall. Somebody like to make a motion? Councilperson Barton.
I make a motion, we approve the site use agreement for the collection of household hazardous waste, changing the agreement date in the deal to May of 2022. June, no, May,
Oh, May. Okay.
because this is May.
It'll happen in June.
Okay.
It needs to be May, and then county will put the final date in once they approve it.
Second.
We have a motion and a second for the consideration use agreement with Cedric County for a household hazardous waste collection event. Is there any discussion? Question, please.
Barkley,
Yes.
Walters,
Yes.
Burden,
Yes.
Parton,
Yes,
Crum,
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
All right, next we have department reports. Administrative Services, Will Black.
Georgie has all the announcements for the department.
Mayor and council, so we have a lot of things coming up with summer right around the corner. Hometown Market will open up on Saturday, June 4th. Hours will be from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. in the Historic District. Summer park performances by the Park Board will start on Tuesday, June 7th. 3 Billy Goats Gruff will start at 2:30 at the Haysville Activity Center. And then on Saturday, June 11th, Metropolitan Ballet will perform Last Unicorn at 7 p.m. in Riggs Park. Sunday, June 12th, Ballet in the Park will perform Tom Sawyer at 6:30 p.m. in Riggs Park. These performances are all free, and by the Park Board, we'll put them out on Facebook and the city website, and I'll send them out by email so everybody will have them. Lastly, Park Board is taking nominations for Citizen of the Year. They will get the award on 4th of July celebration. Nomination forms are available on the webpage, or if someone wants a paper form, they can call and we can get that, or they can print it off. So we'll take those at City Hall through May 27th. That's all I have.
Thank you. Next we have City Clerk, Angie.
Hello. I just wanted to let everybody know the city offices will be closed on May 30th for Memorial Day. If there's any water leaks or main breaks that they identify, they can call the non-emergency number 529-5919. And then 12. Too many nines there. And then we will be open until 7 o'clock tomorrow for City Hall.
Thank you. Next we have Police Chief.
Good evening again, Mayor and Council. Our visiting officer tonight is Master Police Officer Jessica Starnes. She is currently our school resource officer assigned to the Haysville High School and Tri-City Day School.
she's hiding.
She's out there somewhere. Also just wanted to mention, with the weather getting warmer, I know we've mentioned it the last couple council meetings, just making sure that we're keeping vehicles locked, don't become a victim of circumstance. We still have some issues, not only in our city, but some surrounding cities in Wichita as well, with people going around and trying car handles, and when they find open doors, they go through cars to see what's valuable in there and take anything that's not attached, and even sometimes taking things that are attached. So best way to get around that is lock your car. Don't be open to that crime of opportunity. Also, if you have cameras on your house and you review those at night, even if you haven't noticed anything missing, but you see suspicious activity outside, please let us know that. You might have that piece of video footage that we get a good picture of somebody that might have been out trying car handles or something like that. And, we'd certainly be interested in seeing some of that footage. If anybody has anything out there, if you see anything strange, call us. Let us look at it. It could be nothing, but we'd always rather see it and check it out. Also with the weather getting warmer, and as Mr. Crum said, with school getting out, we do want to remind everybody of curfew. We do have a curfew for kids in the city. If they're 15 and under, on Sunday through Thursday, curfew is 11 p.m. to 6 a.m. On Friday and Saturday, midnight to 6 is curfew, so they're not supposed to be out during those times. For 16 and 17-year-olds, the Sunday through Thursday is midnight to 6 a.m. And on Friday and Saturdays is 1 to 6 a.m. So we do have those curfews in town. If you should have any questions about curfew, normally we'll put something up on our website as it gets a little bit warmer, and you can call the station anytime at that non-emergency number 529-5912, and we can certainly answer that for you. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Next, we have Public Works. Tony?
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Just want to communicate a few events we have. On Saturday, June 4th, we'll be holding our annual Citywide Cleanup. It'll be held again at the Public Works facility. It'll run from 8 a.m. till noon. The cleanup is free and exclusive for those who live inside city limits. Residents will have to provide proof of residency on arrival. I will list the items that we do not take: tires, batteries, mattresses, shingles, household hazardous waste, household trash, cardboard, and then of course appliances with refrigerant still in it. Also, for the second year in a row, we'll be hiring children or teenagers that are 16 and older. Worked out really well last summer, so we'll be hiring those for general maintenance worker. Again, 16 and over. They're not allowed to drive, and they assist some of our full-time staff on their daily duties. So if you guys know of anybody or want to help us get the word out, you can share our Public Works post on Facebook. It's out there. So thank you.
Do you know how many of those spots you're gonna look at?
Say it again?
Do you know how many of those spots you're gonna look at?
5 or 6.
All right, thank you. Next, Recreation. Rob?
Good evening, Mayor and Council. On May 20th, we will have our middle school pool party at the Haysville Pool. We'll have our singles pickleball tournament on May 21st. MyRec, our new operating system, will launch on May 23rd for memberships. We will start Food Truck Thursdays again on May 26th from 11 to 1 out of the City Hall parking lot. Our first truck is Taters and Toppings. The pool will open up for the season on May 28th. We will have our soccer camp June 6th through 10th down in Dorner Park. We'll have our Jackie Stiles basketball camp on June 13th. And then we'll have a speaking event where you can come and meet Jackie Stiles on June 13th, and lunch will be included. And then we'll have our youth basketball camp on June 14th through 17th.
All right, thank you. All right, next we have item 8, appointments. A, appointment of Laura Atkins to the Planning Commission, Area of Influence for a 2-year term. Councilperson Parton?
Make a motion, we appoint Laura Atkins to Planning Commission Area of Influence for a 2-year term.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Question, please.
Barkley?
Yes.
Walters?
Yes.
Varden?
Yes.
Parton?
Yes.
Crum?
Yes.
Thompson?
Yes.
All right, thank you. All right, next we have item 9, off agenda, citizens to be heard. Do we have any citizens to be heard?
Like,
I
no.
mean, I have a lot to say, but no.
I will ask Laura Atkins, she's the one you just appointed. Is there anybody online? Well,
No emails.
all right, thank you. All right, next, item 10, executive session. Executive session to discuss, for the discussion of acquisition for real estate not to exceed 15 minutes. Councilman Rorden?
Mayor and council, I make a motion that we move into recess for executive session for the primary discussion of the acquisition of real property as justified under Kansas State KSA 75-4319B and 6, not to exceed 15 minutes, and include the mayor, council, city attorney, director of public works, and the chief administrative officer.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to go into executive session for the discussion of acquisition of real estate not to exceed 15 minutes. Is there any discussion? Question, please.
Barkley?
Yes.
Walters?
Yes.
Varden?
Yes.
Parton?
Yes.
Crum?
Yes.
Thompson?
Yes.
Okay, we're back in session. No binding action has been taken. Councilman Warden?
I move that we add an agenda item to be considered prior to the reviewing of expenditures for the consideration of the purchase of real property and authorization to submit sealed bids.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second to add the agenda item. Any discussion? Question, please.
Barkley?
Yes.
Walters?
Yes.
Rarden?
Yes.
Parton?
Yes.
Crum?
Yes.
Thompson?
Yes.
Okay, so now we're at the next agenda item. Councilman Warden?
All right, I move that we allow Chief Administrative Officer Will Black to submit a sealed bid for the purchase of real estate located west of Public Works identified by Cedric County with PIN number 308714 in the amount not to exceed $75,000.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Question, please.
Barkley?
Yes.
Walters?
Yes.
Rarden?
Yes.
Parton?
Yes.
Crum?
Yes.
Thompson?
Yes.
All right, thank you. Next, we have item 11, review of expenditures. A, summary of April expenditures. Councilperson Martin.
I make a motion, we receive and file the April expenditures.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second to receive and file the April expenditures. Is there any discussion? Question, please.
Barkley?
Yes.
Walters?
Yes.
Rarden?
Yes.
Parton?
Yes.
Crum?
Yes.
Thompson?
Yes.
All right, next we have item 12, consent agenda. So we'd like to make a motion to approve the consent agenda. Again, just a reminder, if you want to talk about anything, we will have to remove that item. Councilperson Parton.
I make a motion, we approve the consent agenda.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda. Is there any discussion? Question, please. Or Councilman
Barkley?
Crum, I'm sorry, Councilman Crum.
In the future, whenever we have a request for an annex agreement in this, could we maybe not have that in the consent agenda in case we have any questions about the property?
Do you want to discuss this one tonight?
I don't need to discuss this one, I just in the future, I'd be interested in making sure that those are something we can discuss.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Question, please.
Barkley?
Yes.
Walters?
Yes.
Rarden?
Yes.
Parton?
Yes.
Crum?
Yes.
Thompson?
Yes.
All right, next we have item 13, council items. A, council concerns. Councilperson Parton.
Tony, I had a citizen over in Wordsworth ask about running the street sweeper over there because the gutters are full. And they said there's some large cracks. They're supposed to give me a list, but
Okay, we like lists, so yeah, that works.
I haven't
Okay.
got that yet. Just so you know, that's coming.
Okay.
Councilman Crum.
I just want to mention, this one's not really a concern. Earlier, we talked about Police Week and Public Works. I just wanted to point out, I don't think we do it enough, that all the employees we have in the city, I don't think we can tell them thank you enough. I think we have great employees in this city in all our departments, and I think that sometimes we take them for granted. And I just kind of want to say that not everybody's going to get a week, and everybody probably deserves a week, because we've got some really good employees that work for the city.
Yes, we do.
And then, Tony, they did the north side of the crosswalk over there by Nelson. All that sand's really falling down in there again with the warm weather and school getting ready to get out. I appreciate it, get that cleaned up. And that's all I have.
Thank you. All right, B, council action request updates.
All right, just a couple updates here. 7050 Plaza, the property is still not in compliance. Court has scheduled a compliance check on June 14th. 7106 South Broadway, the attorney for the defendant has provided a written quote for the fence to be used as screening. They were directed to have the indoor items will need to be stored inside. Items stored outside will need to be placed on an all-weather surface and kept free of vegetation. Review of the progress will be made on May 17th. And then 120 Trout, there's nothing new to report. This will stay as a council action request until May 21st. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, item 14, German.
I make a motion, we adjourn.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adjourn tonight's meeting. Is there any discussion? Question, please.
Barkley,
Yes.
Walters,
Yes.
Varden,
Yes.
Barton,
Yes.
Crum,
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.